Hello, art friends. My name is Fleshwad, and welcome to Cursed Wednesdays. I've decided to upload a cursed video every Wednesday, and here's the first of those videos. These videos will consist of me finding a cursed image on the internet, creating a story around the cursed image, and then a drawing to accompany the story. I am, however, going to save the cursed image until the end. Make sure to watch this video in the dark with the lights off and your headphones on for the best viewing experience. I call this story Barbie Hotel. As a little girl, I loved playing with dolls. I wasn't too particular at first. Any doll could make my young heart happy. Until I got my first Barbie doll. I had found her half buried in the ground at my neighborhood park. Since there were no other children there at the time, I decided to take her home and clean her up. She was perfect. She had long blonde hair and the bluest eyes I'd ever seen a doll have. She had plump pink lips that framed her white, shiny teeth. Her outfit had taken a lot of scrubbing, but I was able to clean it up a decent amount. She had no shoes or accessories. Still, I was happier than I had ever been. I didn't come from a rich family, and neither of my parents were the type to spend money on toys. Go outside, read a book, watch TV. These were the things they'd tell me to do instead. However, after finding that Barbie, I'd become obsessed with her and collecting more of her. I'd often walk around the neighborhood on Saturday mornings, scavenging the neighborhood park, hoping another child would leave a Barbie for me to find. I also checked yard sales, seeing if anyone had any Barbie dolls that they were trying to get rid of. I'd find one here and one there, but they were always heavily used, most often missing singular or multiple body parts. I would still take them, anything to have more Barbies. As I grew older, my love for playing dress-up with the Barbies soon turned to playing a plastic surgeon of sorts. Since I could never find enough complete Barbies, I had to use my imagination. I'd separate the body parts, saving them for later, for when I could make them whole. I'd spend my weekends in my room, gluing legs and arms onto different Barbie bodies. Sometimes they'd match, most times they didn't. If two parts didn't fit together, I'd take some sewing string and a needle and patch the two mismatched parts together. I liked the feeling of the needle poking into the plastic and the thought of the two parts merged together. In high school, I became known as the creepy Barbie girl. I didn't have any friends, but I didn't need any. I had my Barbies, and they would never treat me that way. After years of playing plastic surgeon, I decided I wanted to actually become a surgeon. I wanted to help others look like Barbie. I wanted to bring Barbie's vision to life. My family didn't have the money to send me to school. Another dream crushed due to the financial negligence of my parents. Why hadn't they considered that I might want to attend a school for a career someday? Why hadn't they created a saving fund for me? I was not about to let them stand in the way of my dreams again. I waited until one night, when both of my parents were sound asleep. If they weren't going to financially pay for my surgeon studies, then they were going to have to pay a different way. I took a knife from the kitchen and crept my way to their bedroom. I stabbed them both, one after the other, quick enough that they didn't even notice. Neither made a sound. I left Dad in the bed and dragged Mom to my room to begin my studies. I placed her on a makeshift table, a clean blue cloth atop my old computer desk. I laid out some surgical tools that I had taken from school next to her. I started by making marks where I should cut into her skin. I cut and snipped and sewed until my mother became perfect. She looked like an absolute humanized Barbie doll. Like clockwork, as soon as I sewed up the last stitch, I heard a strange noise behind me, like a metal knob cranking and a plastic ball rolling around. I turned and saw a shiny gumball machine sitting in the corner of my room. It was red with symmetrical gold stripes on the faceplate and a silver turning knob. Despite its shiny appearance, the gumball machine looked heavily used, and in some spots rusted with dried blood. Sitting atop the machine was a huge glass sphere, almost empty with small cracks, but there was a small Barbie-sized head inside. Upon closer look, it was that of my mother, the Barbied-up version of her. At the bottom of the machine was a Barbie, in pristine condition. I stared in beautiful confusion. Where had this magical gumball machine come from? Why was there a Barbie head inside that looked similar to my mother? And could I create more? I needed to test my theory. I ran back to my parents' room and began to lug my father to the same makeshift table. He needed more work done to him, and took twice as long as my mother had. So long that his skin was starting to stiffen, and became hard to work. But in the end, he was also perfect. A perfect Ken doll. Once again, as soon as I had made the last stitch, I heard that strange turning noise, and the rolling of a plastic ball. I looked at the gumball machine, and just like I had pieced together, another head appeared. It looked just like my father's, except the dolled-up version once again. And then a strange thought popped into my head. If I kept bringing people here, practicing my plastic surgery, and creating perfect human dolls, could I end up with my own endless supply of Barbie dolls? This idea brought me joy. I giggled at this thought. I decided to stop here for the night. I cleaned up my room and put my perfect plastic parents back in their bed. I stared at the doll heads in the shiny gumball machine for what felt like hours. I then drifted off to sleep and imagined up all the different ways I could get others onto my makeshift surgeon table. I smiled, knowing it would continue to grow. My Barbie hotel. A little bit about the drawing before the video ends. I hate this drawing. With all of my being, my whole soul hates this drawing. I don't know what happened. I look at it and I hate it. And I think it's very common for artists to sometimes hate what they draw. I think it's because of the amount of time that I spent drawing this. 3 hours. I spent 3 hours on this drawing. I'm at 110% sure that I hate the coloring the most, because when I put it in black and white, I don't hate it that much. Another thing is that, obviously I didn't spend that much time on the heads. There's a bajillion heads in there. So I think if I had put a little bit more time into each head separately versus all of them together, then I would like it more. Because I love the gumball machine on this so much. All of the detail in the gumball machine, I think, kind of saves the drawing, for me at least. This is definitely a drawing that I will revisit in the future because the idea is there. I love the idea. I love the gumball machine. I hate the little Barbie heads. And yes, they are not Barbie heads. I wasn't gonna sit and draw like 20 Barbies, so I did kind of draw just my heads in my style with the implication that they are Barbie doll heads. But yeah, I guess you're not gonna love everything you put out. This one is okay. Like I said, the gumball machine kind of saves it. But yes, you will definitely see this drawing reworked by me in some form in the future. However, I do not think that it will be a gumball machine. Or I might just keep the gumball machine and redraw the people. I don't know. Just something about it looks off, doesn't it? Anyways, the reason I'm adding this in here is so that you can tell me what you think looks off. And also I'm going to do something that I haven't done in a very long time, which is leave the line art for this drawing on my DeviantArt. There you can download it, you can save it transparently, and you can color it because this just doesn't look right to me. I'd love to see your color rendition of this drawing, so if you do download the drawing and color it, please tag me on Instagram or Twitter at FleshWildYT. So yeah, help me fix this drawing, please. I hope you enjoyed this short story. I will be posting all stories on my Reddit, which will be linked below if you'd like to read it at your own convenience. If you'd like to send in a cursed photo of your own, you may do so on my FleshWod subreddit, which will also be linked in the description. I might also want to try to create my own cursed image story using emojis. If that sounds interesting, please leave a set of 3 different emojis down below. Feel free to discuss theories on the story in the comment section below. I'm not a writer. This is all just for fun, but I feel like you guys really are writers, and so having your theories kind of helps make this story whole, if that makes sense, and I really enjoy reading them. If you want to take it one step further and leave your own cursed image along with your own story, I'd also be down to read those on my channel as well. Please like the video if you like the art and the story, and please subscribe if you like all things creepy. Until the next video, bye!